All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm about to show you some things, and just a warning: some of this footage, some of you might find disturbing. Let me know how the sound is sounding. Like I told you guys yesterday, I'm trying out some new equipment. But hey, I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible. But this is something that I just want to show you guys, and you'll see the reality of it. Now, let me start this off with just reading a couple quick Bible verses. Maybe you haven't heard these verses before. Feel free to share this video, right? Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. 1 Samuel 15:23, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. All right. 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. So the God of this world, it's a lowercase g that we see in 2 Corinthians 4:4. So the gods of this world, okay? 1 John 4, 2. Hereby know you the Spirit of God, every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh of God. All right. And then it talks about how the spirit of the Antichrist is already moving among the earth. So essentially, I want you to understand before we go into these clips that we're wrestling against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness, against the gods of this world. All right. So it's not something to take lightly. Now, many people, when you think of demon manifestation and demons and witches, you think of what you see in Hollywood, okay? But I want to show you some stuff right now that uh it's gonna be, some of it is gonna be disturbing, but maybe you realize how serious it is, and then you're gonna see how this kind of proves, no, not kind of, it does prove how everything from the political to the media to the entertainment, that there are demonic spirits behind that stuff. So without further ado, all right, let's dive into the clips. And I didn't really use none of the music industry stuff, because you guys have seen that a million times. We all know that's demonic. But let's take a look at this. All right. And just wait for a second. These images in the beginning, some of you have seen this kind of stuff before. All right. So obviously, there's some kind of spirit that makes you want to do this. Okay. This is not normal, right? There's some kind of spirit that's gonna make you want to mess with this kind of stuff. Right. And I turned the music off. I want you to see the reality of it. And then I'm gonna show you some quick interviews, right? Of not interviews, but some videos of people actually talking about how they play, with these demons and stuff. Now, this is sad, all right? But you got to understand, demonic spirits influence them, push them. This is really another form of demonic manifestation. You see people rolling around on the floor, throwing up and screaming, but this is also the result of having conversations, right, with demonic spirits, demonic imaginations, and things like that. All right. I'm going to turn on the volume in a minute once we get a little bit further, but this is the reality, right? This is a physical representation of conversations and suggestions that are happening, okay, in that spirit world. And we just read the Bible, verses that prove like this is a real thing, okay? So I think you guys maybe have seen enough of that. All right, this is in India right here. I've showed you guys this clip before. They're doing some kind of demonic worship, okay? But here's the part. We're about to get into the main part that I want to show you, and I'm going to unmute it, all right? And so look, the spirit manifests in a lot of different
That's why I need to be
ways.
here. You need Jesus, man. He can save you. He can give you a new heart. God can give you a new heart so that you love what God loves. No, that's irrational.
You can meet.
All right, so this is the main meat of what I want you guys to see today. What I'm going to show you in these clips. I want you to listen to what now this individual here calls themselves like trans demonologist or something like that, and I want you to see in real time. And it's so crazy. I think this is a she that is trans trying to be he, obviously from the appearance. But there's a couple clips, and then there's a witch that's going to come after this individual, that I want you to see what they're talking about, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so let's play it.
Demons even if you don't know their names. So for me, the way that I do this is I hold sessions that I kind of call like demon convening sessions. Think of it kind of like an open house. Essentially, I set some offerings, I open my scrying mirror, burn some incense, and then I get into a kind of a meditative vision state where I just wait for whatever demons kind of come through to meet me. And this tends to work pretty well for me. I meet all different kinds of demons. And what I will say about demons that I meet is some of them don't really have any interest in working with me. Other ones are very interested. I usually get like a variety of guests, just like you would have at like an open house. But some of those demons I find continue to come back as I do these meetings. And once I've met a demon a few times, I start to want to build a deeper relationship with them. And that's when I might do some of the work where I try to get a seal or a name that we can begin to work with more. If you think demons are terrible,
So understand, right, in that first clip, he's developing relationships. I don't know what this individual is, probably a she from the appearance or whatever, developing relationships with the demon, trying to get to know the demon's name, having conversations with the demons. So that's why I showed you the clips in the beginning. Obviously, there's some kind of voice that is talking to them, influencing them to mutilate their body like that. And we know that mutilation doesn't just look like that because here in America, we're doing it to our children.
and evil, then I really encourage you not to work with them. I saw this comment from this person who's basically saying that if somebody's super, super worried about protection all the time from demons, that it might be a good idea not to work with demons in the first place. And I pretty much agree with that. Now, I will say, even people who want to work with demons, we are often afraid of demons because of our religious upbringings or misinformation we were given about demons. So it's natural to have some things that you want to work through. But if at the end of the day you believe demons are like not neutral beings or are like evil beings, again, it's probably best not to work with them because your impressions are being shaped by what I believe
I'll skip forward.
is. First, I support people who work with demons and have different impressions, but I do think that if you're working with a being that you think is volatile and is going to hurt you, it's going to cause you some mental distress.
Take a look at this. So, I mean, this is real. They're really into the witchcraft, right? It's not a joke, right? And I want you to understand, how is it that these witches and these people who practice this stuff, right? There's Christians who shun the supernatural. There's Christians who shun speaking in tongues, shun casting out demons. But then on the occult side, they're legit doing rituals, right? And speaking to demons, summoning demons, using certain things to summon demons.
With your ADHD while you're practicing.
Look at this.
As a fellow ADHD witch, I'm going to give you some tips for working with your ADHD while you're practicing magic. What I think is the first and most important thing is to not be fighting against your ADHD, but to be working with it. And
All right. So now this clip, I'm going to explain it and we're done. This is a shop that is called the Witch BITCH shop or something. And the reason why I want you to see these clips is because I want you to look at what she's posting and look at what she's saying, and you'll see how that ties in politically and all that. So, this first clip you see, my boyfriend said, I'm not allowed to wear that. In the background, she has like some patriotic, 1776 Revolutionary War, movement. And when you see some of the clothing that they're having on and you see how these people are dressing half naked, her thing is like, okay, she's a witch and she's a feminist, right? So that's what this first clip is about.
If you shop at Witch Bitch Thrift or you plan on shopping here, I have a quick PSA for you. Witch Bitch Thrift is a safe space for people of all body types. And we have worked really hard to build a space where you can be comfortable existing in your body as it is. And that goes both for our customers, but also to our staff. We all know that diet culture is making a dangerous comeback. And we have
Diet culture is making a dangerous comeback. Who does she sound like? Let's be honest, she's probably voting for Joe Biden. She's a liberal, probably, right? More than likely. So you have witches here, you have LGBTQ witches here, you have LGBTQ witches who are affirming and pushing the feminist stuff, right? Probably the immodest clothing, as you're going to see, and it gets darker than this, all right? And so
Definitely noticed a spike in conversations around negative body images and dieting, unfortunately going as far as having customers comment on our staff's bodies, which is absolutely not okay. As
All right, so this next clip, all right, you see it. We're the Witch Bee Thrift, and we are queer-owned business. You can't say that. She's talking about, all the witch ancestors that have paved the way. So essentially, like, look, here in America, we're queer, we're witches, we're proud. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for paving the way. That's what she's doing in this clip. Okay. We're making so much progress.
Why don't you wear
Now listen to this.
more color? Why don't you wear more pop colors? It's summertime. You only wear black, baby. I dress to depress because I am depressed.
Hold up. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I dress black. I dress in darkness because I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? Probably because you need deliverance. And like I said, like if you look at these first clips, right, with these individuals like this, it's something similar, right? There's some kind of voices that are influencing their mind. This is why the Bible talks about what? Having the mind of Christ. You can't remember, we read it in the beginning when we read the Bible verses, right? Now, some people, they say, why are you talking about this? Because it's in the Bible. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. These people are having conversations, all right, with the rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places, all right? Rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. When you rebel against God's order, you're mutilating your body, you're doing these things, LGBTQ that go against God's order. It's as the sin of witchcraft. And then, of course, Second Corinthians talks about the gods of this world. And so what you see in these images is a physical representation of what's going on in the spirit.
Why don't you wear more color? Why don't you wear more pop colors? It's summertime. You only wear black, baby. I dress to depress because I am depressed. You know what I'm saying?
the ancient Egyptians used black pigments made from charcoal and burnt animal bones in their artwork. In many European countries during the Renaissance, black dye was expensive and difficult to produce, making black clothing a symbol of wealth and prestige. In science, we use vantablack, one of the darkest substances known to men, to reduce light and enhance sensitivity of telescopes because it absorbs nearly 100% of visible light. In nature, black provides UV protection and camouflage, and sometimes defense, like the ink of squids and octopuses. In China, black is associated with water, and it is considered a color of wealth and prosperity. The color black is all around us, and if you...
All right, so look, I'm going to end it right there, and I'm going to wrap this video up. Why am I talking about this? Because if you look at the common theme, especially with that witch store, she's a feminist, she's a queer store, LGBTQ, right? She's talking about diet culture is dangerous, right? All the talking points that we see in our government, right? And you have to understand that that's why I'm saying there's a spirit behind everything. It's not just, oh, don't pay attention to what's going on in the political world. These people, and you see in the clip, oh, we thank the ancestors. We can finally say this now in America. We can finally come out of the closet. We can be loud. We can be proud, right? And so essentially what's happening is these people are turning America into a Sodom and Gomorrah. And the influence behind it is what? The spirit of the Antichrist that's already in the earth. Wickedness in high places, the rulers of darkness. People are bowing down to these things, and we're seeing it gain territory in our education system. We see it gaining territory in the media and the music. We want representation. We want this. We want to spread this everywhere. We don't want to be in the closet. We want to be able to get married. We want more rights. And so what is happening, right, is a demonic takeover. Bottom line. We are in a war, whether people want to admit it or not. It's a spiritual battle. We're not doing too much by talking about this stuff. It's a warning that, hey, you really need to get in the prayer closet. You really need to spend some time with God because it's real out here. It's really real out here. It's not a joke. So ask God to open your eyes to see what's really going on. Go to www.marcusrogersministries.org if you want to support what we're doing here in Chicago. I need all the help that I can get. I thank you to all of our monthly partners. Without you guys, all right, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So it's greatly appreciated. God bless. You guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day for all of you guys who weren't on yesterday. If you have a prayer request, feel free to put in the comment section and we will be praying for you. Go to www.firehouse.chicago.org if you want to sign up for our free Zoom Bible studies. We got almost 2,500 people signed up. Monday Bible study, Tuesday Bible study, Wednesday Bible study. You just sign up for the newsletter, 100% free. And they have prayer meetings at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day. Be blessed.